It's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's our goal. Hey, it's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's also a show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Breaking Bread with Tom Papa. I am Tom Papa. Our guest today is going to be the great Robert Kelly. Before we start, let me just thank all of you for listening. The relaunch of this podcast into the Breaking Bread format has been just the greatest. And your responses are insanely positive. And I thank you so much. It really does mean a lot because this is a podcast that is just purely out of passion for celebrating all things comedy and all things food and friends and family and celebration. And you know, to do something that you really just love, you hope that it connects with people as well, so you can keep doing it in a bigger and bigger way. And you guys have been amazing. So thank you all for listening, and thank you for subscribing. That's very important. If you haven't subscribed yet, wherever you listen to your podcasts, make sure you subscribe so you never miss. If you like to leave a review, that is also something that is very encouraged when I say people, I mean computer algorithms. When they see lots of stars on something, the computer says this must be good. The humans are enjoying this. So anytime you can review it or leave a positive comment, I really appreciate that. And also subscribe on YouTube. You know, we have a lot of subscribers on the Tom Papa YouTube channel, which involves a lot of bread tutorials and stand-up comedy and this podcast. So it's all kind of connected. So if you could subscribe to that, that is, if you listen to this or watch it on YouTube, super cool as well. So again, truly, thank you for the support. This is so much fun to do, and we just want to keep building this community and keep getting better and better, and we have amazing guests coming up, and today is no exception. Robert Kelly is one of my closest friends. He is a New York comedian. He is New York. He is strong and fast and powerful jokes, and he also has this vulnerability to him that makes him a great, great comedian and a great father and a great friend. And it's all stuff that he's kind of learned along the way. This did not come naturally. The funny part for Robert Kelly happened naturally. The caring, sensitive, wise man that he has become has been something that has been fun to watch because he's one of those people who truly loves life, but also works hard at being better at life along the way. And we get into a little bit about that during the podcast, which is so good to hear. It's just such a nice thing when you see people just kind of growing and evolving. And look, when I say that, I can just picture Colin Quinn saying, "Oh my God, please, that guy isn't evolved at all," and ripping him apart. But no, I would disagree. Robert is such a great guy. He has so many great projects, podcasts, his Calta and Kelly or Kelly and Calta. Go to robertkelly.com. and you will see all things Robert. He has so many great podcasts. He's just great specials. He's just one of the best. And I can't wait until the Comedy Cellar reopens again and I can go back and spend long periods of time in New York because I get to sit with Robert. And today we break bread and we get into, oh man, we talk about our epic meals at Del Frisco Steakhouse. Ooh, you might want to get a steak before you listen to this one. Enjoy the great Robert Kelly.
Glad you've joined me today because we're going to get to the bottom of some things because we both have pipes.
I deduced that, yes.
What kind of tobacco are you smoking in that pipe of yours?
Today, I'm smoking a cherry tobacco from, I get at a friend of mine, Michael, at the Greenwich, Connecticut tobacco store.
Interesting.
The tobacconist of Greenwich, and that is he makes his own cherry.
Uh-huh. And will you admit that you moved to pipes because your wife thinks you smell when you smoke cigars?
That would be the easy assumption.
Would it be correct?
It is not correct. I moved to pipes because I needed something else to fill the hole of loneliness in my stomach. And now when I travel, when I do, I can find a pipe store and buy old pipes like this Peterson pipe, or I can buy this pipe.
Ooh,
Or
that's a nice one. Oh,
can
here
get
we go.
this pipe. Or
Oh, no.
you can get an estate sale
Uh-huh.
and get this.
An estate sale.
Hmm.
So you got that from an estate? Ooh, that's a nice pipe.
This is a very old pipe that was redone.
That you got from an estate sale? That means like you actually got it from the guy whose lips it was in?
Well, the stem was redone and the briar was rebored.
I love how you know the names.
And I bought this pipe for $100, and this has seen some history.
$100?
Yeah, for this one. This one is my favorite pipe. This is a Peterson.
It's a fatso.
It's a Sherlock Holmes Peterson.
Yes. I don't have tobacco in mine. I just have the pipe. I just like the prop. I like being able to tell people things and point and make my point with the end of my pipe, Bobby Kelly.
I like to actually, when you're talking to me, it looks like I'm thinking. So you start talking to me.
Robert, you're a great comedian. You seem to be pondering when I'm talking to you as you smoke your pipe. This is what I like about you. You lock in, and then, of course, in a short amount of time, you've educated yourself. You know the types of pipe. You know the parts of the pipe. And now you have a new thing to go out and buy because Apple isn't coming out with enough new products to stay ahead of your other obsession.
I did not realize, but until just now, that you're absolutely right. This is fucking dumb Steve. I'm going to get mouth cancer because Steve Jobs couldn't take care of his ass cancer.
It's really true. You were always on top of it. You were always the cutting edge. Tech was your thing. And it wasn't enough just to get the tech and have it working. You needed to have something to look forward to. And this isn't a bad thing, by the way. No. This was a healthy way for you to take your obsessive behaviors and put it towards something positive.
Yes. I Apple was a great. I'm goal orientated. I need a goal. You can't, like, if I've been to trainers, like, get on the treadmill. How long? Just get on. I'll tell you when to get off. That's not going to work for me. Because if you tell me 15 minutes, I'll do 15 minutes. You tell me an hour, I will kill myself to get to that hour. But if you just say, go ahead, go out and go, I the whole time I'll be thinking, stop. This sucks. And when I have goals, and Apple actually gave me goals because every 6 months or a year, they would have some type of thing that's coming out that I got to find. Even I couldn't afford it. Most of the times I couldn't afford it. And I had to get it first. I had to beat the line. I had to somehow get in front of those people and get it because they were going to be. And it was such a mission. I call me and Ryan Hamilton. He does the same thing. We call them missions. You give yourself missions when you go on the road because you're alone. You can't sleep with other women.
Right.
Like that's just not an option.
Right.
You can't do drugs or, get plastered. So I would give myself a mission. Like and these Apple phones would be a mission, or tech would be a mission. And, and now that technology is so advanced, there's nothing. We're waiting now for the next iPhone.
Right.
We're waiting for, like, we have projectors, we have flip phones, we have, folding screens. Everybody has a flat TV. It's like there's nothing like the next iPhone hasn't even been thought of. I think what it's going to be is Probably some type of wearable. It's not the watch because everybody has the dumb watch and it doesn't
Yeah.
fill the hole. No, I
No, it
mean I got
doesn't.
one. I
Yep.
don't wear it.
I wear it pretty often, but it's not what you wanted it to be, for sure.
It's not what you want it to be because the battery is Stugatz.
Right.
I got the Garmin watch, which the battery lasts for like 7-8 days, 48 hours in some
Wow.
cases.
Wow.
I mean, I can push a button, go ride with Max on a bike, and it tells me where we're going, tells me how to get back. It does all this crazy stuff, which the Apple Watch was supposed to do. But it's really, you see an Apple Watch on moms and wives. And, you know what I mean? A lot of wives.
Are you calling me a lady?
I'm calling you close to a lady, close to a middle-aged, successful lady, not just an average lady.
But here's the thing. It doesn't even matter. And I remember recognizing this when I came to you and I was like, should I get the iPad Pro?
Oof.
And you kind of looked at me like I was asking a question about like, is the tech good enough and worth it enough for me to buy it? And I could see in your eyes, like you were thinking, that's not the point. It's not the tech. You should buy it if you are walking around for 3 weeks thinking about it, noodling around on the internet, checking it out, going to the store. Again, your mission. He's like, you looked at me like you don't know from the mission. This has nothing to do with whether the iPad is fast or not.
The iPad Pro, if you are an Apple person, you should have that. You should not have an older, like I have the first iPad Pro. My kid uses that now. That's a kid's toy. I have the iPad Pro. I mean it's an amazing piece of equipment, but it's like, here's a problem with that though. Apple stopped designing and started making money. They care more about the bottom line. They care more about dongles and horse shit and getting the phone. Look, at the good thing about Apple is not everybody could afford it. You could tell where people were because if you had a Samsung, all right, I know what tax bracket you're in. You had to go. You had to go to T-Mobile and get some type of weird plan, and your phone works in 5 states.
Yeah.
When you had an iPhone,
yeah,
it's like, look, man, this is a different game. This is a Mercedes to a Toyota.
Right.
And now when Apple did is like, let's get an iPhone in everybody's hand.
Yeah.
Let's make a red one and a purple one and a yellow one that's affordable for everybody. Now you're talking about bottom line. Now you're just talking about making money. Steve Jobs wanted to keep making Ferraris. He wanted to make the Ferraris, and he wanted everything that came out of there to be that quality. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, you can't get this right now, but you could have a mission to someday find a way to get it.
Yeah. And get
when
so
you
good.
do get it, you're going to be like, oh, I got an iPhone.
I achieved something.
Yeah.
I know. It's kind of cheapened the whole endeavor. I was watching a thing last night actually on YouTube where some guy kind of shits on him. And this is early, like before it all exploded. And he talked about his philosophy that it was about solving people's problems and giving them a lifestyle, and then have the tech fill that. Don't come up with a tech like, oh, we can do this thing now, so let's how do we push that on the people? His was really a much bigger, grander picture, and you really do feel his absence now. You do feel like this isn't so much about a movement. This is now just product.
Yeah, it's Samsung. I mean, it's just,
well, that's why you picked up a pipe.
And this is my new iPhone.
Yeah.
This is my new iPhone.
Yeah.
This pipe right here was very hard to get. Because I didn't want to pay the $390 for this pipe. I didn't want to have to go to Ireland to get this pipe.
$390.
I found this pipe in Yonkers for $200.
$200.
Yes. It's expensive, but it's not $400.
Right. Good point. Now, you and I have shared many great cigars together. Oof. We have a great history of great meals, great comedy, and great cigars. And you leaving the cigar world, it makes me nervous.
I'm not leaving the cigar world at all. I love cigars.
Okay.
But the thing about a pipe, what is that?
I need your help.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of this right now. She's going out to the door.
Yeah.
And I think our town's up the street.
Yeah.
They're going to be coming soon. Let her in, please.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of a podcast, by the way.
Tell her I say hello.
She slammed the door. This is the problem. She's homeschooling today. Her friend is here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that means.
Yeah.
And she's homeschooling today. I've been in here doing podcasts all day,
Yeah.
smoking a pipe. And she just came in here and said, I need your help. And as a husband, as a man, I should have got up and said, Tom, give me 1 sec. What do you need, baby? I went, I'm podcasting.
You've got a microphone in front of you. This is the problem, though, because as comedians, we were always able to go about our business, which is, look, podcasting's this is great. I'm already having a great time. Doing stand-up, an amazing time. Going and traveling to do stand-up, an even greater time. And you were able to keep those separate from your family and just call home and say, oh, I'm working. It's hard. And now that we're doing it all from our homes, they see that we enjoy ourselves 90% of the day. And it just makes them angry.
We had the illusion.
Yeah.
As a professional male stand-up comedian, even a female comedian who's married,
yeah,
when you call home, you have to go, hey, you have to give what's up? What's going on? You all right? Yeah, I'm good. Just, a lot of work. I got to do the show. I got to get my thing together. I got to do radio this morning. And
a lot of press, a lot of press.
A lot of press. But they don't realize that we wake up, we get to go make people laugh. They give us coffee. We go to breakfast. We do these shows. It's such a great time. It's such an ego. Oh my God. Then you come back to the hotel and you can take a nap until 7.
Yep. And every stop along the way, there's laughter involved. Someone is laughing. The guy driving you to radio, you're making him laugh. Then you get to the radio station, you make the kid who walks you in laugh. Then you sit down, and now you're on radio or television. You're making all those people laugh. Then you get back into the car, make that guy laugh on the way back, and then you go out at night, and it's just more laughter. So when they hear the laughter now coming from the other room while they're trying to homeschool and Zoom, and they're miserable, and your kid is angry, this is not good for us. It's like we're like David Blaine, and we're letting them see all of the tricks.
Yeah, I feel like Wizard of Oz when the stupid dog went under the curtain, that little rat, and I'm like, get out of here. And then they flip it open. They're like, what? You napped from fucking 11 to 5 o'clock and then had lunch and then did 2 hours of work making people laugh and then went back and got wings and watched a movie till 2 in the morning? What the? I've been doing math with a 7-year-old for an hour and a half.
My daughter came up to me last night and she was doing exponents in chemistry and needed to find the thing on the calculator to what's the button for the exponent. I first of all don't know what an exponent is. Second of all, couldn't find it on the thing, and literally the whole interaction was 5 minutes, and I was like leaning on the counter, like, "Whoa, jeez, I gotta lay down." I'm like, this is not my problem.
It really does take the wind out of you when you do something you don't really know what to do.
It really does.
Right?
It made me feel for her. I'm like, I get it. I get why you're exhausted and angry and pulling your hair out right now. But
I know. I feel so bad.
I did this 40 years ago.
I never did it, Tom. I never did it. My kid's fucked if something happens to my wife.
I know, exactly.
We're gonna have to go into crime. We're gonna have to do something in crime.
But then when they come to you and they ask you a question, as my daughter did earlier in the night, about dancing, about when rehearsal was going to be and when the recital was going to be and how the teacher was going to be picking, I was all in. I'm like, oh, I know the politics of this and I know when you're going to be performing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that angle, that part,
Yeah.
if you're going to go in the arts, I got
Yeah.
you covered.
I got you,
Chemistry? No, I'm out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to rent a dad if mom's not around. Yeah, I got yesterday. I got one of his problems wrong. I went in yesterday because my wife, my wife was she was just had it. She fucking was snapping. So she's like, I need to go outside. So I was like, I took it. You know, you come in, hey, let's make this fun.
Yeah.
Within 10 minutes, I'm like, Max, this is the answer. He's like, Dad, it's not the answer. That's it. I'm like, Max, stop messing around. And I push the button. He goes, it was just wrong. He's like, now I'm going to get it wrong because of you. And he's 7. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there going, I'm sorry. I'm back in school. Like I messed up. I'm so sorry. And my wife came back in, just go back into your shed and smoke a pipe, you loser.
It's not my department. It's not my department.
Yes, it's not my department. This is my department.
That's right. Exactly.
Right.
When
This
you
is
were
my
a child,
department.
when you were 7 years old,
Yeah.
who was feeding you? Who was the person that was giving you a meal that made you feel like you were loved at 7?
You know, I just talked about this with therapy yesterday. I didn't get that at Max's age. At Max's age, I don't remember grades 3, 4, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the end of 5 because I had a very abusive stepfather.
Right.
So from kindergarten to 6th grade, it was very, very bad. Even 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, I don't remember at all. Like I don't have a memory.
Wow. He was that bad that you think you?
Yeah, he was that
blocked it
bad.
out? Yeah.
He was that bad. But even like just not being, I don't remember any lessons being taught.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll sit down with Max, and like the other day he had candy
Right.
in his room, and he opened it up. He's like, Dad, look, and he had a little box of candy.
Mhm.
And I immediately was like, are you supposed to do that? And he's like, no. And he knew I turned on him.
Yeah. Usually you're
And-
safe.
Yeah, exactly. I go, are you supposed to do that? Do you think? He goes, no. I go, you think your mom's going to be happy? He's like, well, he's like, you're going to tell her? I go, no. I go, it's up to you. I go, I'm going to put it on you. You can keep that candy in your thing, or you can tell your mom, hey, I put this in there. I'm sorry, I messed up here. Give her the candy. I'm going to make you make the decision. And you tell me how you feel with what the decision you made.
Oh, very nice.
And he made the right decision. He says, all right. And he took the candy and he gave it, Mom, I had this. And she was like, okay. And I took one out of the box before I gave it. I go, here, that's for you for making the right choice. And I gave him one of the candy.
Nice.
I never had that.
So
I don't remember any lessons, anything about sex, anything about making good choices, anything about right and wrong. I don't remember being talked to. I remember being called an idiot, a fucking moron, shut the fuck up, getting hit. I remember them fighting with my mother and my sister, but I don't remember, hey man, come here, let me talk to you for a sec about this. None of that.
What about
So
from
I
your
never-
mom?
Not really, because it was even my mom, you got to remember my mom, when she had my sister, she was 15. She had me when she was 18.
Wow.
So my mom was in her 20s
Yeah.
and she was a kid. It's like,
yeah.
so it's like she had to work. So she was gone
Yeah.
a lot. And there was more of don't fucking do that or stop that
Sure.
more than, hey, let me ask you a question. How do you, like last week, Max did something bad. And he got so embarrassed and he walked away and I took him out front and instead of, I was like, everybody came down on him at once. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he fucking just caved and
Yeah.
went out front. And I went out and I grabbed him and I'm like, what's up? He's like, nothing. I go, how you feeling? He goes, I'm not. I go, just tell me how you feeling. He goes, I don't want to. And I'm like, Max, it's the only way out of this. I go, I'm not going to let you leave unless we sat on a tree swing. It was kind of like some Hallmark movie moment, but
yeah.
you know what I mean? It was,
Yeah.
But we sat there and I was like, just tell me how you feel. Oh, we're not going back to the party. And he wound up telling me that he hurts in here and
Mhm.
everybody yelled at me. And I was like, well, Max, and then we talked about it. I'm like, why don't you just go say sorry?
Mhm.
I go, you sorry? He goes, yeah. I go, if you say sorry, it will go away. You'll
Yeah.
feel better once that person goes, okay.
Yeah.
So he did. I don't remember. I never had that type of stuff.
Then how did you get it? Because what you're describing is not just average parenting, it's great parenting. And it usually takes an innate understanding of what that relationship is because you were brought up that way. So how did you get it?
Because I know through all the work I've done since I got sober at 15,
Mhm.
all that work I did on, in the books I've read and the people I've talked to,
Right.
all the stuff I've done spiritually,
Mhm.
for that many years, 35 years,
Yeah.
I've learned what we're about, what people are, and
Mhm.
what is the right thing, what is the wrong thing. There's no gray area. And I
Mhm.
also know about communication, what real communication, because as an adult or as trying to get sober,
Mhm.
you need to express your feelings. You need to apologize for wrongs. You need to accept people's apologies. You need to let stuff go. So all that stuff that I learned, right, trying to get
Yeah.
healthy myself from being so twisted,
Yeah.
now it's just I just do that with my kid. So
Yeah.
when I see him, no, I'm not perfect. I've yelled at, him,
Sure.
and he's come up to me and said, Dad, it doesn't make me feel good inside when you yell at me. And immediately I'm like, oh, fuck, motherfucker. Okay, I'm sorry for yelling.
Yeah, right.
So it does backfire.
Oh, of
You know what I
course.
mean?
No, it's always a work in progress. But I have to say that
Yeah.
it's interesting that you started this, talk about a mission. You started this mission at 15 when
Yeah.
you were getting sober. And I'm sure there were you didn't even know you were on a mission. You were just trying to get out of the storm at that age. But I know just from being friends with you for so long that there were leaps that you made socially where I knew where you were growing just within like the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Like you still had other demons and things that were going on when we were at the cellar early
Oof,
on.
yeah. Yeah.
And you've made leaps from that point to now, like you've really grown. It's a very interesting thing to think that you didn't just clean up at 15. Like this became a mission of yours. Like you were constantly working on it. It's it's really admirable.
Well, it's funny because people say people don't change.
Mm-hmm.
People say I know who you are.
Right.
I have friends when we get into an argument, I know who you are. I know. It's like, okay, I'm not going to say that you're wrong. And I do believe it's hard for people to change,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe it's your job to constantly evolve.
Right.
I believe it's your job. Even look, I have friends of mine that just think I'm this fucking angry guy. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And they'll never let go of that. They'll
Right.
always because of what I affected them because
Uh-huh.
of my whatever. So they'll be like, oh, he's just fucking yells. But and it's like, okay, number one, you're right. That was wrong of me to do. I shouldn't have done it. And I know that. Number two, I apologize. Number three, because I did that, because I was doing that for something,
Yeah.
that was me trying to fucking change. That was
Right.
me trying to, something was happening with me where anger was coming out.
Yeah.
And I went and figured out what that was. Now that
Mhm.
I know what it was, I know exactly. And I started to do the things that I will help that. So now I don't have those situations as much
Right.
with these people. So those people, they're done. That's who I am.
Right.
That's who I am. So I've moved on to other people.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
know me now.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah,
wanna
no,
be
absolutely. Because they get locked in, and they just like, that's kind of why you at some point have to break away from family, in a way,
Yes.
because everybody has their roles, and it doesn't. And I see it even in dealing with my kids. It's like, you've got to allow them room to grow, and you've got to give them more credit, because we all get into these routines. Like, you just correct them all the time about this thing that they do, and it's like, you gotta back off and give them a chance so they can kind of prove themselves. We
Yeah.
all get into these routines, is what I'm trying to say. And you
Yeah.
and if you're not aware, and your family just pins you, or your friends in this
Yeah.
instance, they just know you as that guy. They're just going to treat you as that guy. And excuse me, there is a part of that guy that is in you, and
Yeah.
they can drag it out of you. and
Oh, yeah.
you start acting that way again. It's like you go backwards.
It's the emotional hangover
Yeah.
is what I hate. I hate the
Yeah.
emotional. This, when you do these things, or when your friends trigger them in you,
Yeah.
um, it's because I am a genuine guy. I am trying to be a good person,
Yeah.
that I get this emotional hangover
Uh-huh.
the next day, where I'm like, oh, fucking what'd I do? Or,
Right.
why'd I have to say that? And that was just
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
I don't want that shit anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to have those. It's like worse than
Right.
an alcohol hangover.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah.
fuck. And, you know, we want to be friends. Everybody wants a gang. I've wanted to be part of something since I was young, because I had nothing.
Right.
So, like, even us, me, you, Jim, Keith, Voss, Colin,
Yeah.
the seller, we have this thing that we're a part of, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But and we're always going to be the same people in that.
Yeah.
But you can grow, like,
Yeah.
outside of that. But if you try, I just have to know that once I go in there, it is what that is. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's that little thing. That's a game we play.
Yeah.
But where you can step out of that, I
Mhm.
can call you or Colin or even Norton or and we're on to another. We're evolved. We're dealing with the evolved each of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which I think is kind of unique to that friendship, is that it is a group of people who are kind of searching all the time, and
Yes.
and improving and getting better. And like Jimmy's always kind of working on himself, and Colin is always that way. It's like, it's not a static. It's a bunch of spiritual lugs.
Yes. I'm glad you did not mention Keith or Voss when you said
No.
they're. Yeah, you didn't. They're not evolving at all. They're just.
No, not
Keith
at
is
all.
exactly who he is going to be until he dies.
Oh,
But yeah, it is
let's-
true. Yeah.
Let's talk about that group, though, because it is a great group, and is a deep friendship, and it's all comes out of the cellar with Noam and Esty and,
Yes.
and Liz and all. And we have these great dinners,
Oh.
which up until recently, we've been able to probably like 3 to 4 times a year, we would all get together and have this great meal. And it really we kind of searched in the beginning, but it kind of landed at Del Frisco's Steakhouse in New York, right there across from Radio City Music Hall.
Yeah, we did a
And-
little searching.
Yeah, right. Like we had a
It
couple-
was more you searching. It was more your little, let's try this place. And then we went, we're like, it stinks. And then we all hated you until we were back at Del Frisco's.
No, I didn't. I didn't make the last mistake when we went to Il Molino's, which was a great
Oh.
Italian place, but that's a good place for 4 people tops.
Yes.
It really should just be you and your girl. It shouldn't
Yeah.
be 12 people with extra tables and we're
Loud.
loud. I know. We
Oh.
need to be at Del Frisco's, where there's a lot of loud businessmen drinking scotch and martinis. And we
Exactly.
actually aren't as loud as everybody else.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We're just cattle inside of a herd at Del Frisco's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At any other restaurant, it's the Rocky Horror Picture Show at Tavern on the Green. It's just not, you know what I mean? It's like the movie
Yeah, we don't
Hair. Remember the movie
belong.
Hair?
Yeah.
We just fucking running on tables and shit. It's just not. Yeah.
It's not us. But man, they're great meals because the friendship is there, but it's also great meals because that is some of the best steak I have in New York.
It's awesome because there's a commitment to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because there are times I don't know if I don't want to go, but then you're like, no, Bob, you have to go because this doesn't happen.
That's right.
In a lot of people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't have this commitment of friendship that we have. And it went from Manny to his son and his family.
That's right.
Esty, Ava, to all us comics.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's our obligation because we're committing to this friendship.
Yeah.
Even though it's devastating to go to because you're going to be made fun of for your outfit, your hat, whatever you've done in the last 4 months.
Right.
What
Whatever
you picked
failures
for a meal.
you have.
Yeah. Whatever Norton is eating. I get this with no butter and no taste. Do you have anything that looks like me on the menu?
Yeah. The clam jokes about Norton are always some of my favorites. Jim on a half shell.
But the funny part is we always try to add somebody new and it never works.
Yeah. Well, I have to take credit that it's my job to be the one that says, okay, it's time for another one. And I'll contact Noam and then get the chain on. Like which is a big lift in its own. And you kind of have to just do it, is just make the contact, and someone has to push it. Someone has to be like, okay, it's time. Let's go do this again. Yeah. And make it happen. But and I do take credit for it because I do believe that it is a super important thing that you have to.
Oh, if it wasn't for you, if it was left up to any one of us, it would not. It would just be wings at the cellar on a Tuesday.
Right.
Oh, it would be just. It would never happen. Absolutely. And but here's the funny part: is you do that, but we give you shit for doing it.
Oh, 100%. As soon as I say, hey guys, it's time for our big friendship dinner.
Right.
The first thing is Colin just saying, you're not the boss of us. Keith saying, we're tired of you talking. When you're not invited this time.
Yeah.
And
they try to kick you out.
I
They
know.
try to do it without you one time. I believe that's a fact. I think we took a vote. I think there was a vote on Tom can't come. Yes.
I do believe that there was actually a dinner that happened without me and everybody got quiet about it and wouldn't admit it to me.
I don't remember that.
I
don't remember that.
You don't?
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't
not.
remember that. I'm not saying it's not true. I am not saying that. I just don't have the memory I used to have. But I always know you're there because we always go, what are you going to get? And it's always the same thing.
You and I lock in.
Yeah, we lock in the ribeye. We get the ribeye bone in. Usually go bone in.
Mm-hmm.
I like bone out because I think the bone is a sham.
I do too. Just wait.
Sham.
Just wait.
And it's just wait. So I don't remember that. I do know that there's been such epic moments. There's the time that we were leaving and
God.
Keith farted.
Oh my God.
And it was so bad that he made people mad, like in the restaurant. I remember it was just so bad that we just ran out of the restaurant.
It is such a gigantic place with the highest ceilings in all of, like, there's 2 floors. Yeah. And the first part, the seating part, has no ceiling. It goes up to the second part. It's a place you could have the meal now in COVID and everybody could be safe. It's that open air.
Yeah. Yes.
The fact that Keith farted and offended 6 tables around him, it shows that he was really dying and we weren't aware of it.
It was, this is before his stroke. I think that was his body letting him know he's going to have a stroke because it was so bad. It came out.
Sign.
It smelled like somebody shit on my head.
It was so bad.
And I remember the time, one of the greatest times ever was when Noam invited the producer to pitch a show. He invited a fucking somebody none of us knew, not even Noam, a producer to come and pitch a series to all of us at the table. And we And it started with you, I believe. We all gave him an opportunity, and you just laid into this guy like I've never. Like, people don't understand about you that you're actually this great, nice guy. Hey, how you doing? But you're Italian, and there's a thing in you that happens when something that you love is in jeopardy,
Yes.
that you turn into a fucking mob boss. And I remember you fucking attacked this guy in a very, just a very pointed way. And you put this guy from Australia, which is not tough to do.
Yeah.
And then we just opened the floodgates to attack him.
Well,
Then
it was so offensive. I mean, because those dinners are precious. They are our family, and we don't get to do them that often. And then I don't know what he was thinking. He brought him in. He wanted us to give approval for this guy to shoot a reality show about the cellar.
Yes.
And it was like, well, first of all, we're angry that we're going to be presented to. We should be all just talking and making fun of Jim looking like a clam. And this guy just starts on a pitch. And so it offended me for ruining the dinner. And then to make a shitty reality show out of our life at the cellar. Take this precious thing. You don't turn this into some reality show, Bravo Network bullshit. This is our life you're talking about. And now you're going to like gin it up and get Jim fighting against Colin. And
but yeah, I
that
believe
part
though
hurt me also. And I was just like, I will not let this stand.
And you did not. But I really believe that Noam just loves chaos. He loves, he's one of the great arguers. He's just really good at debating and arguing and having a point. And, and he when he brought that guy in, and when his reaction, when we started turning on him,
he loved it.
He loved it. You could see him going, what the fuck? There's something about it that it's something new at this dinner. And he was like, I spiced it up. I made it good.
He did. And
really did.
Back to your earlier point, we always try and bring somebody new into the dinner. People who aren't like that center core. We bring other comedians in to give them a shot and see how it'll go. And without naming names, there have been some pretty decent ones and some where they just bomb. They just bomb at the table.
It just never sticks. It just doesn't stick. You can't. Some people have come close, but no one has ever made the grade.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one has ever made the grade where the next time when you're picking the people, and you go, let's make sure he's there or she's there.
Yeah.
It's always the same group where we're like, let's get somebody new.
Yeah.
And it's
that's a great point. No one's ever broken through and been like, oh, so
no,
Bob's gonna always be there. It's always he was pretty good. But he doesn't.
Let me try somebody else. It's almost like being at a buffet, but you only like 5 things in that buffet. But then all of a sudden there's risotto. Risotto at a buffet? Let me try it. It was good, but no.
It's such a balance. I mean, it really is such an art putting together a dinner like that, because you want the food to be great. You want everybody, that's going to lift everybody's spirits. And
right.
But if you have one person too many and it expands that table too much, or if you're at a straight table, it kills it, because you need that rhythm. You need everybody to be able to hear each other and get in. And we've gotten certain times when it's been too big and you get stuck with a couple of people that aren't really talking. And then you see across and you're like, it looks like they're having fun. What are they saying? I would say, I think the group is always at like 10 or 12. It should never be bigger than that. It really, because it's such a, you can blow it. The whole night could be lost just with one extra person.
But we've never blown it. Because that if we do blow it, the next time it's going to be, I'm good. We've never, every time we've left, even with that producer, we've always had, when you leave, it's like, I'm so grateful I did this. I'm so happy I'm part of this, and I mean,
100%.
And you got to give the food's not, but you got to give Noam and Juanita pick up the tab.
Yes. We don't have to pay. That's a big thing. No, could all chip in and make it happen if we had to. But what a treat that.
We absolutely could, and I'm sure we're gonna now.
Now the cellar's been closed for a year.
Oh, there's no way Juanita's going to give him the green light to fucking pay. No. So I'm sure that aspect of it. So
I went by the cellar last week.
You did, yeah? Did you sit around? Did you sit down?
I worked in Mohegan Sun, so I had one day in the city where I slid in and went by the cellar and sat with Attell and Liz and stuff outside. And I saw where they're going to start doing a little stand up in that upstairs. You saw that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be back immediately. Once they open up, it will be back. And I think they have a good plan. You know, the Pussycat Lounge, the Pussycat, the bar, and Olive Tree.
Yeah.
I think they got a good plan. I think Noam's ready to go. He's ahead of the game. Mm-hmm. It's just now they had a meeting today. They're trying to get something going with Cuomo to release at least half capacity at comedy clubs. They're holding back comedy clubs, and we don't know why.
It's an LA thing too. Yeah. It's never in the conversation. Like, we want the Comedy Store out here to be open, and it's never a part of the comedy. Like when they go through the phases, you get to like phase 6, and still no mention of comedy clubs.
And the sad part is that some of these clubs could have opened in the last 2 months and made some money. And, because if it comes back, it's going to be closed. And some of these clubs that are making money outdoors are going to be fucked in a couple months.
I know.
Because I just did an outdoor show, and at around 9 o'clock, people were sitting there with blankets. There was some dummy who wore shorts that day because it was nice out. Just looking at an audience member shivering is almost worse than looking at somebody drunk. It's just sitting there like this the whole show. It's like, God damn it, get a blanket.
And you can make it work indoors. I mean, I've done 3 or 4 clubs now, and you distance it, and if you're on top of it, you can make it happen. But let's be honest, the only reason we really wanted to open is so that Noam will make some money and be able to bring us back to Del Frisco's.
But you just want to go back. I just want to get that table and that ribeye. I mean, how?
Oh, God,
that ribeye.
Can you make a steak on your own?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are you good at it?
I take over cooking in the summertime.
You do?
I do. Yeah. I am. It's funny because this year I started smoking meats.
Oh, you have a smoker?
Well, I didn't, but Sean Donnelly. He called me up one day at the beginning of the summer. He's like, "Hey, you want a smoker?" And I was like, "Why? What? Yeah, but why?" He goes, "I got a brand new smoker. You want to come by and grab it?" So I was like, "Yeah." So I went to his apartment in Queens, and he had a 4-foot grill master smoker, electric smoker. Apparently, he was going to smoke brisket in his apartment
in Queens.
And he realized when he got the smoker that it literally says, "Don't do that." Like, you can't smoke meat inside.
No,
so, it's smoke.
God bless him. God bless him for trying.
So I tried to give him some money, and he was like, "Nope, I want to learn this lesson. I want to take the hit." So it's like a $400 smoker.
Wow.
So nice. I took that back to my house, and I smoked ribs. I smoked brisket.
Really?
So I started smoking this year, and then but the grill, we just had a nightmare too, because I cook on the grill. I'm the grill guy.
Right.
I take care of my grill like most people take care of their fucking Ferraris or their babies. You know what I mean? I clean it. I got a Weber.
Nice.
Genesis.
Solid.
It's a solid grill, and I love it. I clean it after every time I use it. I clean it. So
gas,
right? And I know where the hot spots are. I know where the cold spots are. Yep. I know how to. I cook for 60 people on that thing.
Whoa!
We have the Max's barbecue before I'd have 50, 60 people there. I'm sitting there flipping. I cook burgers. I cook the hot dogs, the sausages, the steak tips. Bing, bang, boom. No sweat. I hired a cook one year. Dawn said, I want you to have fun. I want you to relax.
Yeah.
We're going to hire a chef. Yeah. Right. She doesn't get it. Yeah. I don't want to say they, because I don't want to generalize women, but they don't get it. So, I don't want to talk. I want to cook. So we hired this girl. She comes over. She's got a hot dog. She's got a hamburger space, hamburger space, hot dog space, hot dog space. I walk over to the grill. I go, listen to me. I got 50 people hungry. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hamburger, 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 hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. Rip, flip, go.
Go.
I go,
Get on it.
I go, listen, you're used to cooking Cornish game hens. I got 50 hungry people here right now. Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog, hamburger, hamburger, hamburger. You jam that grill full of meat. Let it drip down the bottom. I'll clean it later. And I was like, beat it. I kicked her off the grill halfway through.
Oh man.
And then from now on, I cook. So this year,
do you feel like the smoker taken over the grill? It sounds like the grill is still the king.
No. A smoker takes 9 hours, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to wake up. The last brisket I made, we had a barbecue a couple weeks ago. I put it on at 1:30 at night and took it off at 1:30 the next day.
Oh God.
So it's
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's but when you eat it, you're like worth it. But
yeah.
So we were cooking this year. I don't know what happened. What did I do? So anyways, I went out somewhere. I had to go get something. And Dawn decided to put a whole chicken on the grill. Okay. And she put it on one of these things that you stick a chicken on. And then she went inside to clean the bathroom.
Oh God.
I come home. She's standing in front of my fucking Weber, my beautiful Weber. It's on fire.
No.
And I pull up the driveway and I see her. She's staring at it. I'm like, I got out of the car. I go, what are you doing? She goes, the grill's on fire. I go, well, pull it out. She goes, with what? I go, the thing they've been using for the last thousands of years to put fire out. She goes, where do I get it? I go, there's a pool behind you. Stick your shoe in it. The fucking thing. I'm like, what is wrong with you? I look, the side of the grill
It's not her
cracked.
territory.
Oh, the side of the grill was cracked. All the
Oh, my
grates
God.
rusted because
Oh,
I had to
my
put
God.
water. I mean,
Oh my God.
it was a point where I was like, and I actually went back to it later. Then I go, listen, I kind of snapped.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, it's just a grill. I had to do that thing, that emotional hangover. I was like,
Right.
it's just a grill. We're in a pandemic. Listen, I love you. It doesn't matter.
You're my favorite.
Yeah. And I called Weber the next day, 10-year warranty. They
Ooh.
sent me everything new.
Wow. Good.
It's a
people at Weber.
brand new grill. I'm so happy.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, I was so happy because I made it about my father who passed away, my stepfather Larry who died.
Right.
I made it about him because he helped me get the grill,
Uh-huh.
and then I was like, my father. We have to fucking make your wife feel bad. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, she
this is
already
to your
feels-
wife? I thought you meant to Weber.
No, to my wife. I was like, my father, Larry gave me that grill. Help me. She's like, he didn't give it to you. He helped me get it.
Just trying to put some guilt on top of it.
yeah.
All right, take me through with you making the perfect steak.
Well, the perfect steak to me, first of all, is you have to get a steak with some fat on it. It
Mhm.
needs some fat on it. And I would say I want to oil that. I want to oil it. I want to put a little oil in. I don't
You
use
go
butter.
thick? You go like
I go a thick steak. I don't mind a small steak, but that's
Yeah.
for breakfast.
right.
If you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
love a
this is-
small steak for breakfast.
Right. This is the steak.
The steak. You got to get oil.
Mhm.
Okay. You need the kosher salt, the
Mhm.
thick, not
Yeah.
that.
Not the sea
I don't-
salt little
It's like
dainty.
not the little fine salt where you go, you put it. I want thicker
you want
salt,
chunks.
and I want some pepper on that. Okay. And my trick is you put a little bit of onion powder on there.
Ah.
A little bit of onion powder. It gives it a
Mhm.
little good taste. And then you have to put it down. This is the trick. You put it on the grill 5 minutes.
on high.
Flip it on high.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Flip it. 5 minutes. Flip it. 4 minutes. Flip it. 4 minutes.
Ah.
Flip it. 3, 2, 1. Done.
Nice.
Done. You should be right at
Nice.
medium, little, not medium well,
Mhm.
not medium rare, but pink in the middle. I like pink in the middle and a little bit of crust on the outside and a little gray. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I know
Yeah.
some people take like a cast iron and try and sear it to get that outside thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's a bit
I
of
get
a,
it. I get it.
Yeah.
But it's for a steak.
Yeah.
Look, a steak, the greatest part about a steak is this.
Mm-hmm.
You put it on your grill. All right. In 10 minutes,
Yeah.
you're going to eat a piece of meat. You're going to have a meal that makes you feel like a man.
It's really true.
And the only thing I do with it is a baked potato.
Uh-huh.
I mean, to have anything else other than a baked potato with a steak,
Yeah.
I mean, get an air fryer. The air fryer saved my life. I lost 45 pounds with the air fryer.
Oh my God.
Get an air fryer and bake a potato.
Right.
Clean it, oil it, put holes in it, salt and pepper it, 30 minutes, 35 minutes in an air fryer. It's just like being in the oven. That steak and that potato with some type of vegetable just to keep you honest.
Uh-huh.
Just to keep you honest. I mean, my love is a basic green salad,
Yeah.
oil and red wine vinegar, salt and pepper, a little bit of lemon. I'm done. That's my meal.
Yeah, that's perfect. What's this air fryer you speak of?
Dude, you have to get an air fryer.
Really? Why?
It's I've given them for gifts. I gave Esty one. I got one for my sister. I've gotten one for friends.
Wow.
Because an air fryer, it just cooks shit. Like I've cooked steaks in an air fryer and they come out amazing. I'll put salmon in an air fryer, and
really?
A little asparagus on each side, piece of salmon, big piece of salmon, oil it, salt and pepper it, air fryer on fish mode. It comes out, you knock your socks off.
Jeez.
Air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, you're crazy.
I've never even thought about an air fryer.
Oh, air fryer. I cook everything in the air fryer. You can bake in the air fryer. Speaking of you.
Can you hold the pipe and tell me to get an air fryer so I feel like you're more serious?
I would, if I was going to tell you one thing in life, I would say get an air fryer.
Oh, now I'm writing it down.
Air fryer. Get the biggest one, 5 quarts, and try to get some reviews on it. I have a Corsari or something like that. It's pretty good.
Okay.
The Ninja's all right. Ninja just came out with a double air fryer, so you can air fry potatoes in one and fish in the other. I cook most of my meals in the air fryer.
What is other than steak, what is your favorite go-to grill meal?
Grilled chicken.
Oh,
you
yeah.
get
That's not easy.
a drumstick with the
thigh,
the thigh attached bone in with the skin.
Of course.
Listen, there's no better piece of the bird. The drumstick and the thigh connected with the skin.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper, a little oil.
Perfect.
Right?
Yep.
There's no better piece of meat.
No barbecue sauce?
No barbecue. It's all sugar.
Yeah, you're right.
I know. Here's the trick. You don't need any sauces if the steak is good. You don't need sauces if it's seasoned correctly. You don't need that shit.
No,
you know what I mean?
I know. Yeah. Just salt and pepper.
That's
really all you need. But I have to say, and I know maybe it's the New Jersey in me, even as great as a steak is, a little A1 on the side makes me really happy.
I can deal with A1, but if I see ketchup on your plate, I'll leave your house.
I would never. I
I will fucking leave your house if I see ketchup. It's just unless it's the morning. I understand you're at a fucking Waffle House and you order the steak. You got to do something to it.
Right. Yeah. Now you really dropped 40 pounds.
Yeah, I dropped 45. I was, is it 45? Around
That's
40,
great,
45
Bobby,
pounds. Yeah.
I remember you starting to dial it in about, I don't know, like 9 months ago.
Yeah. When I got back from Aruba this time, I got on the Whole30 diet, which has changed my life. It's supposed to be for 30 days. I just eat like this all the time. No dairy, no grains, no legumes, and no sugar.
Right.
So,
right. Oh, okay. So if we're at Del Frisco's again, pandemic's over. We're back at Del Frisco's. We've had the big steak. We've had the potato. We've had the salad. We've had the clams. We've had the crab cakes, those jumbo shrimps.
Yep.
Just the meal is just cascading all around us.
Yeah.
And then it's the end of the meal.
Yeah.
And you know our favorite thing to do is
Yeah, I
to
know,
get
lemon
that
cake.
giant piece of lemon cake.
Yes.
Possibly the best lemon cake I've ever had in my life.
It's
Are you-
possibly the best cake, one of the best cakes.
Yeah, period. Are you not getting it now? Are you leaving me by myself to have the lemon cake?
I'm gonna have to think about that, Thomas.
For real?
I'm gonna have to think about that. It
With your-
depends on when it is.
No.
But I could, yeah, because if I didn't have anything for 3 weeks, I could have a bite of it.
A bite of it. You're that strict.
Yeah, I have to be right now.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, geez Louise is right. It's a rough world out there, Thomas.
You're smoking a pipe, but you
Yeah.
won't have a bite of the cake.
Yeah, that's
I don't
correct. Because
look.
even if I get mouth cancer, I can be thin.
I don't I don't want to be the friend that knocks you out and takes your goals away, but I would come at you hard at the end of that meal and make sure that you had that cake. I would
not put up much of a fight. Let's just say that. Yeah, that'd be like attacking your wife in an alley. Be like, oh no, Tom. Oh, come here. My wife keeps sticking her head in. I gotta wrap this up. She is pissed.
Is she
She's
angry? Is she really?
She the last one, she stuck her head in at the bottom of the door, holding the dog, and went like this, and just didn't say a word. Just went. I don't know what. I'm pretty sure that means I'm going to kill you or stab you. I think. I don't know what that means. Like that. I don't. There's nonverbals. I'm in trouble.
worst.
Because she's in there with him with school.
Yeah.
So I think that he pushed her over the edge, and I'm in here, and she could probably hear me
She
chuckling.
hears you laughing.
Oh my Lord!
We should have kept it serious.
Oh, she is.
What are you gonna have for dinner tonight?
Probably nothing after this.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to go somewhere. I'm probably gonna have to go out and eat and get some food. I don't know if she's gonna cook tonight.
Does she cook most of the meals?
She cooks most of the meals when it gets cold out. But yeah,
Right.
she's such a wonderful cook, dude.
I know. She's good.
She's so good.
I know.
She's so good.
That's, that was part of you gaining weight was you married someone that was cooking a lot for you and was happy to see you happy with what she made.
Oh, I would hum. Her chicken cacciatore. I mean, I did. I used to hum when I eat. I used to eat, and I just and she used to laugh. I'm like, "What are you laughing at?" She goes, "Nothing. I just like when you're humming."
That's so good.
Yeah, it was.
Bobby,
it was
what should the people know about you? Are you out on tour now? You got your podcast rolling?
Well, yeah, I got robertkellylive.com for my tickets. I'm actually going to Houston this weekend.
Very good.
Tempe next weekend. The weekend after that.
Nice.
I have a very big show coming out with Ron Bennington outside at a stadium at Blue Claw Stadium in New Jersey, October 21st.
What's that
which
stadium?
It's a baseball stadium
Oh, nice.
out in Jersey, and it's actually me and Ron.
Oh, that's great.
And
That's a
to
great
get
show.
tickets, it's very hard to get tickets, so we made it easier. Live from homeplate.com
Okay.
will bring you right to if you try to go through the Blue Claw, it's impossible. Live from homeplate.com is the tickets with me and him, and VIPs I think are sold out, and the rest of the tickets are available. It's going to be an epic last of the year outdoor big show.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I do a show 6 nights a week on Patreon is how I'm really making most of my living right now.
Yeah.
At patreon.com/Robert Kelly. I do my podcast. I do Calter and Kelly, me and the great Mike Calter do a show 4
I
nights a
did
week
that
there.
show.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun working with him.
Yeah.
He's so great and
He is
such
really
a
good.
different, we have such a good chemistry together. And then
Yeah.
I have my one-on-ones and I have Live from the Shed, which I haven't done.
No, I
Which I wa-
haven't. When I come back
wa-
east.
Yeah, come up. We'll smoke a pipe
It'd be
and
so
we'll shoot the
nice.
show. It's pretty easy. We'll social distance. It'll be nice.
Yes. Oh, please.
I'll
I
cook some
can't wait.
steaks.
Oh, the best. Well,
right.
Bobby, you're the best. And I have to say, we'll continue to share great cigars and great meals together. And as you have on your mission evolved as a great father and a great husband, it's been really fun to watch. And I remember one instance specifically. We were downstairs at the cellar before you were married, or maybe you were just married, and I complimented you about something. I said something about like good set or something. We were in the little hallway there at the cellar, and you turned to me like defensive, like because you were used to your friends always, or just people always kind of picking on you, and you stopped and you were like, "You're being sincere right now." And I was like, "Yeah, that was really great." And you were like, "Oh, okay. I got to get better at accepting that."
That's true.
It was really true. And I
Not used to accepting it. Better.
Yeah. And I have to say, it's been you're one of my favorite people on the whole planet. You're so damn funny, and it's that quest and that truthfulness that makes you such a great act and a great friend. And I'm sorry that Dawn is going to beat you up when this is over.
I'm actually quite nervous, and I am likewise back to you. And hopefully we'll see you at Del Frisco soon.
All right.
And if I need help, I might text you.
All right.
Okay?
You're
All
the
right,
best,
buddy.
Bobby.
You too, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Love you.